This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Good morning and thank you for waking up with us on this Sunday morning. I'm Galen Etlin. Everyone is talking election results and the new president-elect. We're going to get to that here in a moment. But first, it is another chilly start to the day. Here's a live look from our Wells Fargo Skycam over the Portland area. Definitely not as foggy and cloudy as we saw yesterday. We are in for some sunshine as well. Keely Chalmers is live at home for us, and not a bad forecast for today.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be a beautiful day to head outdoors and do some hiking, walking, get some glimpses of the beautiful leaves falling from the trees. Gorgeous out there right now. Lots of sunshine today, but like you said, it is going to be a chilly Sunday. We've got clear skies out there right now, but temperature is certainly on the chilly side. We're at 38 degrees right now out at PDX. Here is a look at your weather headlines for this Sunday. There is a little bit of fog in some areas. The fog developing mainly on the coast. We could see a little creep into the valley, but again, most of the fog sticking to the coast. We're getting a nice dry northwesterly wind that's pushing out the fog here in the valley, or prohibiting any fog really from forming here in the valley in the first place. It is going to be a chilly Sunday, but it is going to be dry, full of sunshine, and the rainy weather, it returns tomorrow night. Not only does the rain, but the snow in the higher elevations. We're looking at a good few inches anyway by Tuesday, anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of new snow up in the Cascades. So some exciting stuff to talk about. Galen.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Keely, thank you so much. Well, after days of delay, uncertainty, and accusations, it looks like the presidential race is now decided. Joe Biden stands ready to be the 46th president of the United States. The president-elect took the stage last night, laying out his transition agenda while delivering a message of hope and a promise to heal a divided country.
I pledge to be a president who seeks not to divide, but unify. Who doesn't see red states and blue states, only sees the United States.
Celebrations across the country began yesterday morning, just before 8:30 our time. That's when we tossed it over to NBC News for you, as multiple news agencies projected Biden would take Pennsylvania and Nevada, putting him over the 270 electoral votes needed to claim the Electoral College. President Trump was on his golf course in Virginia when that call was made. He and his legal team say they're going to ramp up a legal challenge starting tomorrow. He has made no concession calls to the Biden camp. Now, Portland was one of those cities that saw a lot of the celebrations. Streets that have seen protests typically over the last few months saw parties instead. A spontaneous celebration there popped up in downtown Portland yesterday morning. Many of these people there said they're overjoyed with these results and call it the best thing for the future of the country. But they believe moving forward will take more than one person.
And it's real important that we can't just depend on Biden to do it. We got to work together as people that believe in empathy and believe in other people's needs and work towards improving the environment.
Another reason people are excited is the vice president-elect. Kamala Harris is the first woman and first person of color ever to become vice president-elect. Many people we spoke with say she's an inspiration for their daughters. Now, of course, not everyone is happy. Like the president, some Donald Trump supporters question the election results. Our Art Edwards looks at some local rallies.
Supporters of President Trump rallied against the outcome of the election in Vancouver's Esther Short Park. The leader of the far-right group Patriot Prayer stated their concern over the outcome of the election, saying they want the results examined. A second Trump rally took place in downtown Vancouver. About 100 demonstrators marched to the walking path on the Interstate 5 bridge and waved American and Trump flags. In Salem, the scene was tense at times. A group gathered around the Capitol building to rally for Trump and protest the election results. There were clashes with counter-protesters. Police worked to keep the groups apart. State police said they made 4 arrests during the course of the day for charges ranging from assault and weapons charges to disorderly conduct. The president himself was defiant in defeat, saying he'll fight the results in court starting Monday.
Now, even though the results are in, election stress is not really over, right? Many of you may have friends, neighbors, and family members you disagree with. So I got some tips from doctors about actions you can take to both de-stress and coexist. A drive up this southwest Portland street. shows Biden and Trump supporters living side by side.
People have different opinions. That's just the way it is.
Dr. Ken Weiser with Providence in Portland says political stress can impact health. And this year, with COVID, wildfires, protests and riots, and the election,
A lot of people are reaching their limit or beyond their limit.
Dr. Weiser says these steps can help. First, don't focus specifically on reducing your stress.
That's going to be the most stressful thing you do because you can't do it as a quick fix.
Instead, do something that brings you peace or joy, away from social media and other stressors. Also, keep a handwritten note of what's stressing you out.
Just write it down, don't filter it, get it out.
It sounds like it's more about taking control of little pieces of life so that you're not feeling like you're free falling.
It's exactly right. Because who can click their fingers and change the world or change their own life?
We have more in common than we do not.
Dr. Robin Henderson, also with Providence, says that shared experience is important to bridge gaps.
Different beliefs are like all of the other wonderful differences that make the human experience fabulous.
She says friends, family, and neighbors of different beliefs have to work it out.
And those ground rules may be, we're not going to talk about politics, religion.
And community service may be a good meeting place.
Where the folks across the street who had the Biden sign and the folks over there who had the Trump sign are all working together to gather canned food for the holidays, to have shared experiences together towards a common good goal. And volunteering like that is a really great way to do it.
You're not going to change them through anger.
Dr. Weiser and Dr. Henderson agree. They say people should listen with curiosity, not fight. And that could mean going back to basics.
Learn how to share. Don't call people names. Take turns. Practice kindness.
It's not just decreasing the darkness, it's lighting the light.
And knowing both sides have light to give. Now, President-elect Biden says his first task will be tackling the coronavirus pandemic. And in Oregon, we saw the state's highest single-day total of new cases yesterday. That was 988. The Oregon Health Authority says 240 of those cases were in Multnomah County. From this graph here on the right side, you can see cases have been climbing in Oregon since mid-September. Within the past week, we've seen some of the highest numbers of cases reported since the start of the pandemic. Health officials also reported 13 deaths yesterday, bringing the statewide total to 729. And with COVID numbers rising, as we've told you, Governor Kate Brown is pushing new restrictions. She's ordering a 2-week pause on social gatherings starting Wednesday in 5 counties, and that includes Multnomah and Marion counties. This new order comes at a critical time, too, because 90% of the ICU beds at the big Portland hospitals are now full, and that's a big change from just a few weeks ago. The coronavirus and its economic impact are 2 major factors that shape this presidential race, of course. So what's really ahead for the rest of the year? We speak with some economists about what you can expect heading into 2021.